It's May 2022. My sister hands me a piece of paper and says, "You should try out for Wired." I read over the application and think, hey, I play drums. These guys play all kinds of music. I need to be in a band. Why not? So I fill out the paper and my sister turns it in for me the next day. A couple weeks later and I head to the auditions. They're held in the school's auditorium, which before that day I've only been in like twice. I take a seat and my anxiety grows as the other kids play their songs and are brutally judged. When it's finally my turn, I walk up to the drum set and I play Heavy Dirty Soul by 21 Pilots. I couldn't have picked a more difficult song to audition with, and it was definitely messy in some parts, but everyone was really impressed. After the auditions, I stuck around and talked to the other Wired members. There was one particular person that stuck out to me, and to respect their privacy, I'll just call them by VK. Their haircut was questionable, but at the time I thought it was cool, so I complimented them on it. I was the only one to ever compliment them on their hair. I think even to this day, actually. VK and the other Wired members were quick to let me know that I'd definitely be their new drummer. Not just because I did really well, but also because the closest thing they had to an actual drummer for the past year was a cajon player. This was so exciting for me. The band asked if I'd be able to practice over the summer for an upcoming show, and of course I said yes. Those first practices were so much fun, and they helped me to not only get to know the members of Wired, but also a sponsor and guiding light, Mr. G. He is one of the most country bumpkin, yee-haw people that I know, and yet he doesn't really have a country accent. He's very down to earth and patient, for the most part, and he really helps bring the band together to get stuff done. That summer we especially had to get it together because we had a very fancy charity show at our small town's only fancy venue. This dude that I'm showing on the screen was there, if that matters to you. I cannot pronounce his name for the life of me. This being my first performance with anyone ever, I was both really nervous and really excited. I got all dressed up and that night, I played my little heart out. We only played like half of our set list so that Daryl and his brother could play. Why his brother was there, I have no idea. But the show went great. Better than I thought considering, again, this is my first show playing for any number of people. Boy, did I have a big storm coming.
I don't need friends, they disappoint me.
Freshman year rolled around, and although the lineup changed a little bit, VK still had a year. There are so many great things I can say about this dude. He's an amazing pianist, incredibly welcoming and considerate, but knew when to be stern and call people out. They were kind of the glue that stuck Wired together that year. They were my mentor in a way, or at the very least, it's just someone I look up to. If VK is watching this, I hope you understand how you changed my life. No joke. You made me a whole lot better of a musician and person, and I hope to see you again in the future. We played a few shows outside of the school, but our big fall concert at the auditorium was the Legends concert. We played some classic rock songs from the classic bands, Bon Jovi, the Eagles, Queen, you get the idea. Our big closing song was Bohemian Rhapsody, and yeah, that song was insanely hard to get down. But after weeks and weeks of practice, the song went really well, and so did the rest of the concert. I also want to point out real quick that VK did the guitar solo on Bohemian Rhapsody, but instead of playing it on guitar, they played it on the keys. Absolutely crazy. I don't know how their fingers didn't freaking fall off. Whole lot of kudos to them. I look back on that performance as a huge milestone for me as a musician. I've improved my drumming a lot since then, but I'm still so proud of what I was able to accomplish after only playing with Wired for a few months. Thank you to everyone who supported me during that time, and to all of the members of Wired who played at the concert. You are all so amazing, and you helped make that night a great one. We went to do our little Christmas show at our town's little Christmas event, played another charity show for Carl Perkins, and some other shows that I for the life of me cannot recall. But something really cool was coming up. Prom. Wired plays every year, and it's how I got to go even though I was a freshman. It was such a fun time. We played some Fleetwood Mac, some Lana Del Rey, and even some Stevie Wonder. As the night went on and I talked to my cool senior friends, there was a sense of dread coming over me. I knew that this would end and in a couple of months I wouldn't see any of these people ever again. I did my best to enjoy prom, but I couldn't help but picture myself in 3 years when this night would be for me and for my graduating class. Time is a really scary thing, I guess, I don't know. I think the main questions that ran through my head were 1, why did I make friends with so many upperclassmen and even become really attached to a few of them if I knew that we'd only see each other for a year? And 2, why do I look up to these guys so much when, at least from what I've heard, they barely know what they're doing? I don't mean that in a derogatory way, I'm just saying that these people aren't that much different from me. They're not superhuman, they're my friends, and it's reasonable that I'd miss them and that I'd worried about them. I hope you guys are doing okay out there in the real world. Alright, I got my depressing jitters out now. Let's talk about one of my favorite Wired performances to date, our third Crossroads concert. We bring back old members of Wired who graduated and we play together. Or more accurately, Wired does a little set, and then Wired alumni play a little set, and we all come together to play the final song. I got to play guitar on that closing song, the classic Don't Stop Believin'. It was one of those magical music moments where everything kind of clicked and a massive feeling of euphoria and togetherness washed over me. I look over to our bassist at the time and we smile at each other, and we kind of just knew we were both thinking, God, this is so cool. I couldn't talk about Crossroads without mentioning the man, the myth, the legend, Henry Henson. He was a Wired alumni and helps out the new members whenever he can. He's another one of my biggest mentor figures. His musical wisdom, his inspiring stage presence, just his whole authenticity and love for his craft is so inspiring to me. He's been keeping me motivated to make cool stuff, and I feel as long as he gives me a little thumbs up, I'm doing good creatively. Anyway, Crossroads was a great time, and I can't wait for Crossroads 4. Also, before I forget, Henry plays bass in a band called Safe for Dead. Go listen to their single Under Your Tongue, it's so good. If you like alternative rock and pop, you'll like it. Okay, back to the video. We ended off 2022-2023's Wired on an overall high note, but it was still a little bittersweet. I had grown really close to VK and to the other upperclassmen in Wired at that time, and now they were leaving. It's just another case of feeling happy for your friends and happy that they're moving on to better things, but you're still stuck in the same place for another number of years. I wrote a whole song about that actually. But let's skip to August of this year and the start of Wired 23 for 24. We played a few small shows around the local area, but most importantly, we recently played our 2024 fall concert, which was basically a goodwill version of Taylor Swift's Eras Tour. We definitely did it because we knew the turnout would be good. Either way, it was a great challenge to learn a whole new set list of songs that I've never heard before, and we all worked very hard to put on a great show. Among the freshmen that joined this year, there was one person that I couldn't not mention, otherwise I have a feeling they would come after me. We'll just call them M. They were the least insufferable freshmen I had met. We had similar music tastes and we quickly became close. M really made me a better person and humbled me a lot. Partly because of our falling out, that was 100% my fault. I won't get into details because that is between me and M, and there's no need to put it out on the internet. In short, I made some dumb decisions. But I've learned from them, and I can say I'm a much more mature and thoughtful person now. I'm glad that I met M, and I hope the best for them as we continue to play in Wired together. If there's anything you take from this video, just know that if you have the opportunity to join anything music related at your school or college or whatever, do it. It is so much fun, and it helped me become the musician and creative that I am today. I have a feeling I'll make a part 2 to this video in a couple years, since I doubt that Wired will stop changing my life as long as I'm a part of it. I guess one last thing I should mention is I'm the band director. VK kind of passed on that role to me when they graduated, and I've been doing my best to live up to the name. Like I said, I'll come back in a few years and see how I did. This has been your local ghost. Have a great day/night. Like, subscribe, comment, the whole shebang. I love y'all so much, and I've had a great time sharing my experience being in a high school rock band with you guys. Thank you to all the specific people I mentioned and to all the other Wired members I've had the honor of working with. See you later. One take two. Oh, that's crazy. That is crazy.